So yes, you can multitask, Mom. All right. We've got a new mission. It's called Multitasking. So it's a CodeAIR mission, and you're going to learn how to do multiple things at the same time with your drone. So, just like in real life, sometimes you want to watch TV, do your homework, and play around on your phone all at the same time. The drone needs to do that too. It's going to need to do things like check its sensors to make sure it's not going to run into anything. Meanwhile, it's also navigating a course. Meanwhile, it's also blinking its lights in a specific pattern. Meanwhile, maybe you're trying to play a tune on the speaker. So if you want to do a lot of different things all at the same time, how are you going to do that with code? Because your code normally goes one line at a time. So in this multitasking mission, we're going to tackle all those things with a really cool framework called the state machine and the task scheduler. So it's a way to use some really kind of advanced computer science concepts that are really quite easy to put to use, and we're going to walk you through it one step at a time with multitasking. So it starts out just giving you the overview. You've got a couple of new toolbox tools with the state machine tool here. It's going to teach you a little bit about how to keep track of different states and how to do things with the task scheduler. So that's how you're going to schedule things to happen when you want them to, even though you're not, controlling things sequentially the way you used to. Things are going to happen asynchronously, just in this one event at a time way. Learning a little bit about blocking versus non-blocking functions in code. So it's another new tool that comes along in this lesson. So going to the first project is just sort of introducing the task scheduler, and you're going to start by just blinking an LED, something you already know how to do, but this code track is going to lead you through doing that now using a scheduled task. So you're going to learn how to blink an LED using a scheduled task. It's going to go into juggling two tasks at the same time, and then getting into a problem, right? So the cool thing is the state machine framework gives you really good error messages and diagnostics of what's happening while your program's running. So you can actually open up the console, and you can see I've been running some state machine code here already. We'll show that in just a second. But at the console, it's going to tell you if you've got any issues or problems as you go through your state machine. So that's kind of a cool way to keep track of what's going on. So during Objective 3, you actually run into a problem where one of your functions, one of your tasks is just like hogging the time. It's taking too much time. And so then you're going to solve that by learning how to make a blocking function, in this case, beeping the speaker, into a non-blocking function. So it's a really cool way to learn, like, how am I going to make sure that if I'm trying to check sensors really fast and then I do something with the motors or do something with the flight controller, I'm not going to just like completely miss out on sensor events and things like that. So we're going to learn about those concepts, right? Super important for when we apply those when we're flying. And the final bit is sensing while scheduling. So you're actually going to use the task scheduler to monitor sensors, and so you're going to actually interact and have it where, in this case, we're going to use the distance ranger. So as you move your your hand or an object in front of the drone using the forward laser ranger, you're going to use that task scheduler to really quickly be able to detect changes in those sensors, while at the same exact time you're still on time, on schedule, blinking LEDs, making sounds and things like that. So how to interact and give your drone reflexes, basically, is that part of it. So a lot of really cool fundamentals that are coming in here that are kind of more advanced coding topics that maybe you don't ordinarily see in this kind of like level of robotics programs, but we're really proud of it. I think you're gonna really enjoy it. Let's take a look real quick at the code for one of the projects, kind of get you through some of the techniques, and then hopefully you'll be able to have some fun on your own working through this mission. Okay, let's take a closer look at Objective 4, just to kind of show you some of the debugging that's built into the task scheduler and show you how we get around that. In this example, I've brought up the console, and you can see that our task scheduler is giving us a warning here that this task is taking too long. So each one of the tasks we schedule needs to just get in and get out as quickly as it can, do its job. It's not allowed to do anything that blocks or that takes considerable amount of time waiting for something. So it has to return, and anything that you need to wait for, well, you need to schedule another event to check that out. So in this case, we've turned the speaker on and we beeped it for 2 seconds, and we did a blocking beep. So the task scheduler is saying, hey, I detected that a task took 2.00098 seconds. So it's a little off. But it's basically, that's pretty obvious. It says it's our beep task, our offending problem here. How are you going to unblock this? How are we going to make a blocking speaker beep into a non-blocking function call? So you can see here in the code, we've already made the change. The code track kind of took us through. It's going to tell us what to do to change the speaker beep so that instead of beeping for a long period of time, in this case, we were doing it for 2,000 milliseconds, which is 2 seconds, to change that to 0, which makes it return immediately and leave the speaker on. And the next thing is we need to call the schedule function of the state machine to call the speaker.off after 2 seconds. Now it's a non-blocking thing, right? This function, this task is really fast. It says start the speaker playing and then schedule it to turn off in 2 seconds. So awesome, let's give this a try. I'll run this. So now I've got my LEDs blinking still, and when the beep happens, you can see it beeps for 2 seconds, but the LEDs stay blinking the whole time. So it's scheduled, that beep task happens every 5 seconds, and then it turns off a few seconds later, just like it's supposed to. So really simple code, it's all non-blocking, and all these tasks are running independently, without bothering each other. They're multitasking. Okay, so that wraps up the multitasking mission. It's really cool. These are some amazing techniques that are gonna be very useful to you in a lot of programming from here on out. There's a lot of systems that use these same techniques, whether it's robotics or web programming or making giant servers do your bidding. So learn it, enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, happy coding.